drop in and out of here for the first couple of minutes and just check to see if anybody's in the waiting room. But welcome to our Unravel travel series. This is the fourth one we've done. And we have some great tips for you. I know Suitcase Gals travels in packs, and we're traveling as a group, but a lot of times people will take trips on their own. And, we just want to remind you of safety tips, whether you're by yourself or in a group of women. All right. One of our mottos is that travel is cheaper than therapy. We like to keep things simple. This is a great group of women. We've done over 10 trips as now, and I've seen so many wonderful relationships built out of our tours. People have made great friends. They've gone out of their comfort zone. And this group is very supportive of that. So I thank all of you for being that way. So again, we founded this in April of 2021, and mostly because we knew a lot of single women, some of our best friends. I had 5 friends that were single, and we would always invite them to travel with myself and my husband, but they didn't always feel comfortable doing that. So that's where we came up with Suitcase Gals. Gerby is unable to join us today. Her daughter is graduating, so it'll be on to new things for her daughter. All right, let me just check one more time to see if anybody else is trying to get in. It looks like we're good. On my screen here. So today we're going to be talking about safety when you're traveling. The first thing you really need to know is that you need to know what your destination is like. So you should do a little research, finding out what some of the local customs are, how people dress. This came up, with our Morocco trip that's coming up next year. It would be very inappropriate for some of us in this group to go wearing mini shorts and mini skirts in a location that requires the women there to cover their head and wear very modest clothing. So the first thing you want to do is familiarize yourself with the customs. Try to dress so that you blend in to where you go. A lot of people can identify American tourists by their clothing or by the first words that come out of their mouth. Also, there is a Smart Traveler enrollment program through the Department of State, and that'll give you any updates on travel cautions. Whether there is a level 1, 2, or 3. I can't think of the word. Level 1, 2, or 3 caution for traveling there. And, it can make you decide, do I want to go there? What risks will I have when I get there? And I suggest that we're going to put this on our website, that you go to this site and register and put in the countries that you're planning on traveling to, and that way you'll know if there's any alerts. Share your itinerary. This is probably one of the most important ones. No matter where you're going or who you're going with, you should share your itinerary with a family member, a trusted friend, and that way, should something happen, we can touch base with that person. We can get some more information, and it could just be that you were off the grid for a couple days and they panicked, but at least they know what your itinerary is, And, they can say, oh, well, they're out doing backpacking, they probably don't have good cell service. Always upload your documents to your email. And that goes for your passport, your driver's license, any particular visas that you have. Because should you lose one of those documents, it will be easier to replace. And at least you'll have that information should you have to go to, the American consulate somewhere. I usually recommend that people make a folder in their email and name it something kind of bizarre that people aren't going to think you have travel documents in, and keep copies in there. And you can also do that in your photos on your phone. It's also good to have a printed copy of your documents. That way, they're handy. Tip number 3, and this one's a big one. Passports are very easily lost. You go to stick it in your bag, you miss the pocket, somebody decides to pickpocket because they see your passport hanging out. Leave your passports in the hotel safe. There's no reason that once you're in a location, you need to have your passport out with you. Unless it is specified that you need the passport to enter a museum or someplace in particular. Have a photocopy of it with you. That way, should you get into trouble, not necessarily trouble, but should you need that information, you have it handy. And like I said, the best thing is to keep a file in your folder and, just, just have it handy when you need it. All right. I don't know if you guys have all seen the commercial on TV now with the guy at the mail store using carrier pigeons. It's a advertisement for WhatsApp. So the whole point of that is that WhatsApp allows you to send messages that are encrypted. So there's less of a risk of having somebody get your information. Connecting to Wi-Fi is like a passport to somebody having all of your information. So, be careful when you're using public Wi-Fi, because you don't know who else is trying to get into your Wi-Fi. All right, Jill asked, what if there is not a safe in the hotel? So if there's not a safe in your hotel, then what I normally do is I will bury my passport in a pile of clothes, waiting, wrapping it up real tight so that if somebody does come into your room for housekeeping or whatever, they're not going to readily find that information. All right, back to public Wi-Fi. Probably the better thing to do is to use a VPN, which is a protection. It is coded so that you're not going to be getting onto any crazy websites that might hack your phone. And it also protects your public information. If you needed to go on your bank account and check your balance, if you're using VPN, it's a secure network. Always look for a lock symbol or the HTTPS in the browser. That indicates that is a secure site. The lock symbol will show up when you're trying to connect to Wi-Fi, and most places, if they have a lock system, will provide you with a password for that. Okay, this is probably the biggest thing whether you're traveling or just doing your day-to-day shopping. We all have a personal bubble, and we know when something's wrong. I remember watching Oprah years ago, and she would always say, trust your gut. So if something feels uncomfortable or you just don't trust the situation, remove yourself. Whether you just walk away and go into a busier shop, just remove yourself from the situation. If it's not possible to do that, then, have your cell phone in your pocket and you can always dial 911, or you find out what the country code is of where you are and you can program that into your phone as well. Tourist spots, public transportation, big events are great targets for pickpocketers. Always carry your bags in front of you. And if you have money, keep some in your pocket. You can keep some in your bag, but don't have all your money in one place. And always use licensed taxis and transfer companies. With our trips, we do provide all that as far as your transfers. So make sure that if you get into a taxi, it is a licensed taxi, and they would have all that information in the front of their taxi. It'll have a number. Each person that's driving one should have a tag to identify themselves. All right, we all like to get dressed up when we're going away and wear something nice, but the fact that you're seen with expensive looking jewelry, it's a feast for people who are trying to rip you off. I've heard of people having their necklaces taken off. Hotels are infamous for, if you don't put jewelry in a safe, it tends to walk away. So keep your valuables at home, bring some costume jewelry. For me, when I travel, I take a couple pair of earrings and wear my wedding ring, and that's about it. So, at least limit so that if for some reason your room is broken into, that you're not losing something that's valuable, whether it's, just a valued piece of jewelry that you got from your grandmother or an expensive piece. When you're out doing your day-to-day traveling, take whatever cash you think is necessary and leave the other one in the safe or put it in a separate place. You don't want to have all your money lost at one time should that happen, or if somebody pickpockets you, they take everything. This is a big one, and especially when we're carrying purses, we tend to set them down maybe in an empty chair next to us on the table, that people can just walk by and take those. I'd like to think we lived in a better world, but when you're traveling in high tourist areas, pickpockets know where to find things. And also in restrooms, I have seen so many people lose their cell phones in a bathroom because they take it out of their pocket, they set it on top of the toilet paper holder or things like that, and you get up, you walk away, and you forget all about it. So, keep your valuables in a safe place, whether it's the hotel safe. Keep your phone out of your back pocket, maybe keep it in a front pocket or inside your bag. Carry your bag on the front of you, and you'll be at less risk for those things. Pickpockets and things like that are not going to target people that look like they know what they're doing. Message here from Mel. I put my cell phone under my bra strap when I go into the bathroom. That is a great piece of advice. people lose their cell phones there all the time. And I found that out because I left my phone on an airplane coming from Scotland. So I had set my phone down on the seat of the airplane to get my overhead bag, and then just walked out without my cell phone. When I went to the customer service desk, they said 90% of their phones are found in restrooms. Okay. All right, we all like to have a good time when we're out traveling, and just be careful with drinking too much. This is something that hopefully we all learned from the time we started drinking, whatever age that was. Never leave your drink unattended. And if you tend to drink too much, it could inhibit your ability to make good decisions. I would not go into bars by myself. At least travel with a friend who hopefully is less intoxicated as you are. Always go into, the bar with someone else and make sure that you're leaving with the same person you came back with. Very unsafe to get really tipsy when you're out, especially in a foreign country, because again, people like to take advantage of women where that's concerned. And as far as your drink, just don't leave it unattended. Hand it to a friend, take it in the restroom with you. I know it's not the best scenario, but you don't want somebody putting drugs into your drink. Tip number 8, there are alarms that you can carry on your keychain. Great if you're in a situation where you need to alert somebody or scare someone off. If you're feeling uncomfortable, if somebody approaches you and you feel very uncomfortable about it. Also works, stray dog come up and is growling at you and things like that. It's called a birdie alarm. They make all different kinds, and they're generally about $25. Doorstop alarm is small and you can pack it easily. It looks like a doorstop, and it goes right under your door, so that if somebody tries to open your door, it'll set off an alarm. A lot of hotel rooms have, one of a couple things, either the deadbolt lock and possibly, some other type of latch that goes over so that somebody can open your door beyond a certain point. Those are really great too. Should someone knock at your door, you can look out the peephole and see who it is, and you can keep that latch locked and only open it a very little bit. See, you feel comfortable doing that. First size pepper spray. It has to be under 4 ounces in order for it to get through TSA. So keep that in mind. Where would the first place you would want to spray would be in someone's eyes, because that's their most vulnerable part, and they're going to let go of you or whatever they're trying to do in order to try to clear their eyes. All right, so don't sweat the small. Our trips are made so that you don't have to worry about anything. We provide the tours. We vet all of our trips that we go on as far as hotels or tour guides. We also can arrange transportation with our tours, and it's just really a safe way to travel. When a group of women are together traveling, it's amazing, how things come together. Somebody forgot, a barrette. Somebody else in the group is quick to hand one over. And again, it's just it's just a really great part of, being able to travel with these women. So we have linked some of our favorite products on our website, things like the birdie alarm, the door stops, and luggage, and some of our favorite travel items. So when you're looking for things that you need for packing, please check out the website. It links directly with our Amazon account. And hopefully we are providing you with some of the necessities that we like. Lastly, we have a couple of more webinars coming up. On June 20th, we're going to talk about the Caribbean Islands and exploring St. Lucia. We do have a trip scheduled for St. Lucia towards the end of the year. So that'll give you good information on that trip. In September, we're going to talk about airplane travel tips, and then we'll figure out something for October. We are taking July and August off because it's really tough to get people together in the summer. But hopefully, you find these helpful. Let me stop the share here. Again, our email, social media, and phone numbers are here. You can also go directly to our website at suitcase.com, and all that information is shared on there. We certainly hope that you will follow our social media, particularly our YouTube channel, which I posted in the chat box earlier, because all of our travel tip videos are there, as well as some of the other trips that we've done. And it'll just give you an idea of what type of trips we plan, and how wonderful the group is. Let's go back here. And I wanted to see if anyone has any questions. If you could please type them in the chat box, that would be great. There's just too many people here to be talking over each other. So if anybody has any questions, please type it in the chat box. And if we don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and end this session. I hope you guys got something out of it. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next webinar. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day.